So you're a heart-centered life coach. You know, as a heart-centered life coach, it's actually your job and honestly your honor and your privilege to help your clients create the results that they want for themselves and for their lives. And as you're in this business and you're working with numerous people, occasionally you may one day find yourself wondering whether you and the client you're working with, and even though you're doing your best to serve them, if you and that client are actually a good fit or not. And part of you may even begin to wonder, oh, I wish I didn't have to work with this person. You see their name on your phone and you feel this, oh, I don't really want to be talking to them. You know, you want to pay attention to that moment because at the moment we're not enjoying working with a client. There's something going on that we want to pay attention to because part of you is wanting to sever that coach-client relationship and you may not know the best way to do this. You want to know how to proceed. Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey. I'm the author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the founder of Life Mastery Institute, which is the world's premier training and certification center for heart-centered transformational life coaching. So how do you know when it's time to fire a client? And what is the best way to sever that relationship so that both you and the client are set up for future success? Now, you're along the coaching path. You meet someone or they meet you and you have a conversation. Knowing ahead of time who your best clients are and what they're going to be like helps you discover in that initial conversation whether or not you're a really good fit for each other. In fact, that's the best place to know whether or not you're a good fit, rather than 12 weeks down the road or 3 months or 6 months down the road. So, and occasionally that still happens, but let's start at the beginning. So in the beginning, you want someone, number one, who wants to grow. You want someone that is willing to be coached. There are people who will enroll in coaching programs and they sign up for coaching, but they don't really want to be coached. They want you to make it work their way. And frankly, if things worked their way, they'd already have their results. There are particular way things work. In the same way that electricity doesn't work my way, doesn't work your way, it works its way. But if I learn how to harness the way electricity works, I can bring light any place I want to have light. But I got to wire the house to code or the place to code. So as you're helping someone, you want someone who wants to grow, you want someone who is willing to be coached, and you want someone who's willing to invest. Now the investment of the dollars or the money that they invest is only a portion of the investment. The other is a portion of the investment of trying out some things, the investment of doing some of the things that you've talked about, the investment of them doing the things that they've promised themselves they're going to do, not perfectly. But you can feel when someone's moving up a progression path and when they're just stuck and looking for all kinds of reasons to blame, and often you, for the lack of progression they're finding in their life. So on occasion, I've been doing this over 35 years, and I can count on one hand the number of clients that I've fired over those years, but I have fired clients. And I've done it in a way that I will offer to you now, but I know you will find your own way in doing this. But I will tell you ahead of time, getting the agreement made up front is why I've had so few clients I've ever had to fire or have ever been unhappy with me, because we understand what we're about, we understand what the plan is, we get all those agreements done ahead of time. Now down the path, some things happen for people. You find someone who gets through the gate and it's looking good for a while, and then it moves into this other place, and you begin to discover that maybe their values are completely different. Maybe your ability, you're just not the person who can help them. I mean, maybe somebody else can help them, but you're not it. And they're unhappy, they're complaining, or they're not participating, or they're missing in action, they don't come, they don't pay. Lots of different things can happen. But when you start to notice that you're feeling your own contraction about working with this client, when you notice that you're not looking forward to the coaching call, when you're finding yourself wishing this relationship were different, then the most important person to tell the truth quickly is you, because you're the coach. And so you can tell the client that you're noticing that things are starting to drift in the coaching relationship, and that if it continues this way, the two of you will not be working together anymore. And you ask them what's going on for them. You do your best to mend that relationship and see if they can get over the hurdle of whatever's going on for them. You make it safe for them to tell you what's going on for them. And then if it comes to the place where you just absolutely know that the relationship is not going to be the best thing for you or for them, then you say, you know what? We've worked together this amount of time. I'm really proud of you for the progress you've made. I can see, and you be sure you tell them the progress they have made. Make sure that if you're doing this, you want to leave them whole. You want to leave them knowing that you see great things in them, that you see wonderful things in their future, but that you've decided And when you get to the moment when you're going to fire a client, it's non-negotiable. It's not a discussion. At that moment, you don't want to be having a discussion about whether or not they think it's a good idea. You've made a decision. So the conversation before this conversation is when you say, let's see if we can get back on track. When you had that conversation and it didn't get back on track, now it's a different conversation. In this conversation, you've made a decision. And it's okay for you to make a decision. It's okay for you to say, you know, you're amazing, you're wonderful. I'm not the best fit for you. I'm clear about that. So I'm ending our coaching relationship, but I want you to know, and if there's money to refund or if there's some other financial agreement, you prepare for that so you have a check ready, or you have whatever it is that completes that relationship well. So you leave knowing that you have done everything you could do to help that person, and you have ended that relationship in the way you would want to be treated if someone were ending a coaching or a professional relationship with you. You be sure that as you prepare for that conversation, you're absolutely clear about the true and the good and the kind things you can say about that person, because that's always true. Even if they've missed a whole bunch of appointments or stiffed you for some of the money, there's still some good and true things about that person. So we acknowledge that, you take care of yourself, you wish them well, and you know that there's someone else that can help them. If you have somebody you would refer them to, you might do that. Rarely have I referred when I've had a client that didn't really work with me, because most of the people I work with and coach are people that have the same kind of agreements that I do with our coaching clients. But I know this, there are so many wonderful people who want coaching today. There's so many wonderful people who want to grow, are willing to invest, and are willing to be coached. So don't be afraid to ever let a client go that isn't really a good fit. Because if it's not a good fit for you, guess what? It's not a good fit for them either. Now, if you've enjoyed watching this video, I hope you will go ahead and share it. And then for more step-by-step help, some strategies, some really proven steps that you can take to grow or start your own successful life coaching business, I have a gift for you. So I'm going to give this gift to you now, and it's a free ebook that I've done called It's All About Life Coaching. And it's a place where you can learn not only how to grow your business, but also to allow yourself to image and then allow yourself to have a really abundant income while you're doing your coaching business. I'm glad you watched today, and I hope you come back.